Hi everyone, so my name's Lauren. I am from ISEC US. I'm in ISEC at Appalachian State, and I was asked to talk about my experience with stereotypes of places in Africa and how I've dealt with them. So, if you know me, you know I've spent a lot of time in Africa. I spent 9 months in South Africa before I started university, and then 3.5 months in Kenya last summer. And I'm a applicant for the MC of Kenya next year right now. So basically, when I told all my friends that I was going to go to Africa the first few times, well, first of all, some people don't understand that Africa is a continent and not a country. So they're like, oh wow, you're going to the country of Africa. And I'm like, actually, I'm going to the country of Kenya and the continent of Africa. So that's just something that I'm sure you guys know is obnoxious and embarrassing for the people involved. But basically, people have come up to me before with stereotypes about Africa, and they're like, oh, wow, tell me about your experience. Were you living in a hut? Did you, make your own food outside over the fire in the mornings? Like, what did you do? I guess some other stereotypes would be like, oh, did they speak English? Did you have to teach them your language if you were going to communicate with them? Were you living, were all the streets, made with mud and dirt? What are the houses made out of? How big are the houses? Do they only have one room? What is it? Does everyone go to school? Do people ride elephants to school? Do people ride giraffes to school? Do people ride lions to school? Yeah. So, as you can imagine, I was like, people that have visited Africa, people that have lived in Africa, people that are citizens of different countries in Africa, that there's a ton about Africa that is just like any other country in the entire world, and that a lot of places in Africa are actually extremely developed, that the infrastructure in tons of the countries in Africa are better than some of the countries that we live in the West and in other places around the world, that everyone in the communities are extremely talented, extremely intellectual, extremely advanced. They're always looking for different ways to do things, innovative ways, sustainable ways, more sustainable ways than a lot of us do in our countries, that everybody is extremely, they work as a community, everyone's, treated fairly and together, and they have a really community-based system rather than an individually based system, which is more like us, and which hinders us a lot in our development because it's more like the I than the we, and that's where we fall behind a lot. But I mean, those are just a few of the stereotypes I've gotten. And no, people don't really ride elephants to school. I mean, if they live in a place where they can, then more power to them. That's awesome. But I mean, when I was in Kenya, in Nairobi, I mean, the city is just like being in, New York City and in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina, in Washington, D.C. It's just like it. It's just as developed. People are, act just the same as we do, except for maybe a little bit more friendly. And I loved every single part about my experience in both South Africa and Kenya. And a little bit in Lesotho and places here and there. But those are just some of the stereotypes I had heard, and some that I can greatly testify against. That the infrastructure is really great, and in Africa, the technology is growing every day. The people are amazing and very, very, very smart and very advanced and forward-thinking. The education system is getting better. I mean, pretty much everything is on its way up, and soon it'll be, more advanced than we can even imagine, and probably pass us in most things. So I'm proud to say that I've, been to Africa, that I've spent time in a few countries in Africa, and I can't wait until the next time I can go back. So don't believe the stereotypes. Africa's an amazing, progressive, beautiful place, and if you have the chance to go to any part of it, please do.